So, very good evening, everyone. Welcome to this sitting and breathing session again. For today's practice, we are going to revisit something that we have done last week, which we focuses on the samatha meditations and on the breath itself. So, I've mentioned briefly, or quite lengthily, in fact, about the practice last week. That this is actually the teaching from the Abhidharma text, the collections of Buddha's teaching, where in this case we focus more on trying to understand the true nature of reality and by understanding how our mind works. So basically, we all understand the meaning of suffering because I think we all experience some kind of suffering. Are you familiar with that terms? How many of you don't have any suffering? So that is the whole purpose of Buddha's teaching, isn't it? To help us to free ourselves from the suffering ultimately or permanently, so to speak. Okay, but what exactly is suffering? Of course, suffering, it can be divided into a physical kind of suffering, where many of us experience some physical discomfort, our body. These five aggregates actually, this mortal body actually will forsake, will age, and eventually it will die, right? But another form of suffering comes from mental. So many of us, I believe that we have experienced a different degree or different types of mental distress, either anger or greed, jealousy, sadness, loneliness, fear, anxiety, and stuff like that. And I don't need to mention a lot because I think many of us know this very well, right? So now the whole purpose is to help us to free ourselves from suffering, right? That is the purpose of learning about Buddha's teaching. So to do that, first and foremost, we have to understand the causes of suffering. The main causes of suffering cannot run away from three main causes. The first one is ignorance, then followed by craving or attachment or grasping, you got it? And the third one is called aversion. These three will actually eventually leads to jealousy, ego pride, and so on and so forth, right? But what exactly is craving? I think I mentioned again last week. So basically, craving is we want something so badly, or we want something, crave for something that gives us a sense of pleasure. We enjoy, or we want to grab so on the pleasure or the pleasant sensations. For example, if you like someone very much, if you have a very happy relationship, you want this happy relationship to last forever, right? Which is very normal. We thought it's very normal. But because of this grasping, if anything unpleasant or out of our expectation happen, we start to feel sad. It gives rise to suffering. Or when something that we cherish very, very much, we lost it, we feel sad again. And sometimes we want a sense of wanting, a sense of desiring more. For example, if you enjoy a good food, how many of us will stop at the first bite? We won't, right? We will want to have continue to eat more and more. So that is the manifestation of desire, craving. We crave for more. But the problem is, the more we crave for something, the more it runs away. It's like when at night when you lie down on the bed, when you try to put yourself to sleep, and the more you try to sleep, the more you can't sleep. The sleep run away, right? So that is craving, a sense of you never get enough. You always want more. And another one is aversion. Aversion is totally the opposite, something that you don't like. You don't like yourself getting old, right? You don't like the sickness in the body. You don't like some people. Some people, the voice of someone talking, you already irritates you, right? Or you don't like your financial situation right now. You don't like the war. You don't like anything. I mean, anything can upset you. It could be weather that's too hot or too cold, right? These are the things that irritates you, angers you. And the root of all these two basically is ignorance. Ignorance simply means not knowing the true nature of reality. Because we although we know intellectually like things are impermanent, but we always have this sense that we want things to be permanent. Okay, we want things, we assume that things just out there by itself, independently. So all this will actually give rise to wrong perception. Wrong perception creates wrong emotion. I mean, the anger again, right? So for example, when we see something unpleasant, we tend to exaggerate. Like this person maybe only have one shortcoming, but we don't like the person. We will focus on the one shortcoming that the person has, and overlook that the person also has a lot of good quality. So this is wrong perception, right? So all this ignorance will give rise to negative emotions and again get us into suffering again, right? So these are the causes of suffering that we must understand. And how does this meditation that help us to free ourselves from suffering? And I mentioned that there are two kinds of meditation. One is time abiding meditation, and another one is vipassana or insight meditation. Calm abiding basically to help our mind to stay calm, to achieve some peace. Because if we do not have a calm mind, we will not have the wisdom to see the true nature of reality. We will not be able to do the vipassana meditation or the insight meditation effectively. Therefore, the first step is always try to develop a stable, calm mind as much as you can, because a calm mind will lead to a clear mind. All right, so this is something that we are going to do again today by focusing on the breath. But you may be wondering, if I just observe the breath, like many of us, we have done that many times. I just observe the breath, breathing in, aware of the breath, breathing out, aware of the breath. So how does watching the breath help us to, again, free ourselves from all this attachment, anger? So these are something that we are going to practice and learn and practice. First of all, when you start to meditate, when you start to watch your breath later on, when we start to practice, many things could happen, right? The first thing that happens is your thoughts will start to come, right? You will have monkey mind, remember? We have this monkey mind, then our thoughts start to come. So when thoughts start to come, the first thing we always like to do when we are in meditation is we try to stop the thought, correct? So when thoughts come, we get angry. We say, how come I have thought? I should have no thought. That is most of our expectation. So that is a form of aversion, right? So now what we do is when the thought comes, let it come. Let them stay and let them go away, right? So it's okay if thoughts come. Thoughts of Chinese New Year coming, thoughts of what cookies to buy, when should I do spring cleaning? All those are very common. You can't stop them from coming. But instead of pushing them away, which is aversion, right? Like we push away things that we don't like, we just tell ourselves, it's okay. Let them come, let them go. Let them come, let them go. And this is the technique. This is what we call learn to be okay with not okay. So here you are learning how to deal with aversion, right? When aversion happens, let them come, let them go. The object of aversion, just let them come, let them go. Emotion come, let them come, let them go. Okay, just like that. It's okay. Tell yourself it's okay if they come. Right? So at the same time, we are learning acceptance as well. Okay, we are learning openness. Remember, we learned about the meditation on accept and allow. So this is what this practice is all about. It's an antidote for aversion. Accept and allow. And the second one is we also learn to let go of craving. What does it mean by that? When you start to think that everything is okay, then you start to follow the thoughts. You start to follow the object that you think is okay. When you start to follow, you get lost, right? Okay, you follow and it becomes more and more pleasant and you start to have craving. So the craving mind is you start to pursue something or chase after or follow something that attracts you and make you feel good. You start to think, like, for example, you start to think about the New Year cookies that you're going to buy. Why it tastes so good, so good, so good. Then it becomes your mind, you are distracted, right? So what you do is you are aware in meditation, you are aware that, oh, okay, you start to have, your mind start to follow the thoughts or follow the emotion. You bring yourself back again. to the present moment again and again. When you do that, you are able to free yourself from craving. So when you think about any object that you desire, again, recognize that immediately and then bring it back to the present moment. So that is what we practice, the way of letting go of the craving. And the third one, of course, is ignorance. So how to practice, how to free ourselves from ignorance when during this breath meditation or shamatha meditation is to allow things to be as it is. When your breath is long, allow it to be long. When your breath is hasty, too short, okay, allow it to be as it is. Don't try to change. Don't try to work on manipulate or control. Even if you automatically want to control, it's okay to observe that. And then it's okay. Don't do anything about it. Basically, you just recognize it and just be. Because this being mind has the ability to transform everything. When you have this being mind, just be with reality as it is. The reality is your breath is changing all the time. So you just recognize this phenomena is impermanent. Then just allow things to be as it is. That's where you are actually freeing yourself from ignorance and the wisdom start to arise. That is the beginning of wisdom. To see the true nature and learn how to be with reality as it is. Because we always deny, we always exaggerate, try to manipulate the reality. And if it fails, then we get ourselves into suffering, frustrations arise again, right? So this is wisdom, the being mind, instead of thinking, planning, trying to manipulate and stuff like that. So even though it's a very simple shamatha breath meditation, within it we are able to actually free ourselves from craving, aversion, and even develop wisdom from it itself. So I hope you understand this simple explanation. And let's go through the practice together. Okay, and then experience it for yourself. All right. Okay, now we begin the practice.
Sister Janice, just ask you, just
Right.
now you say, free ourselves from craving that. No, the last part, free ourselves from craving.
Yes.
Then,
When craving, you're free. You no longer have the you wouldn't act on it, meaning you wouldn't be controlled by your craving.
okay.
Because when we crave for something, when we desire for something, we always try to act on it, right?
Yeah.
Act on it, you start to grasp on it, okay, attachment arise. Yeah, so we want to free ourselves from this kind of attachment, craving. But to free it, you have to recognize it. So when it arises, you don't have to do anything. Just recognize that, oh, there is craving in me. There's attachment in me. There's grasping in me. Okay, bring yourself, instead of acting on that, you bring yourself back to the present moment. In this case, like you come back to your breath again and again.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, any more questions? No? Okay, so I'm going to start the session. So adjust the posture if you need to. Make yourself comfortable. Again, spine loosely straight, not too rigid. You can close your eyes or you can open your eyes by gazing relaxingly ahead of you, on the space in front of you or on the floor for this meditation. And allow your body to come to stillness. And allow me to invite 3 sounds of the bell and to bring your mind back to the present moment. Begin by feeling the sensations of your body sitting on the cushion, the weight of your body, supported by the earth underneath. Allow your body to come to a rest. Again, this is a safe place to be. Simply allow yourself to be here for the next 20 to 30 minutes. And allow your body to relax. Your eyes, your gaze are gentle. Your brows are soft. Relax your facial muscle. And perhaps like to invite a smile at the corner of your lips. When you smile, you are relaxing all the muscles on the face. And drop your shoulder. Allow your two arms to rest. Finger relaxed. Your heart is open. Belly is soft. And allow this sense of relaxation to flow all the way down to your two legs, your feet. Just allow your whole body to relax, yet alert. Body solid like a mountain. And your mind is open and relaxed. And now let's generate a positive motivation for our practice by thinking to ourselves that may this practice free us from all kind of suffering, and may I be able to help others to also to free themselves from all kind of suffering ultimately. Can just allow your mind to rest for a few moments in this open, effortless awareness without needing to do anything. Just be. As you rest in this open awareness, very gently bring your attention to your breath. Breathing in, aware that you are breathing in. Breathing out, aware that you are breathing out. In breath, out breath. Simply rest your mind on the breath itself. Aware of the in-breath, aware of the out-breath. Just that. And at this point, your thoughts may arise, or some emotions may arise. It is okay. Just allow the thought to be as it is. Let them come, stay for a while, and let them go. There's no need to stop your thought, judge your thought, upset about your thought. Just be okay if they are thoughts. Breathing in, breathing out. In this way, we are not fighting with the thoughts or emotions. We learn to be open and acceptance. And we learn about loving kindness as well. Simply let the thoughts or emotion comes and go. We free ourselves from aversion. Now, if we notice that we start to follow the thoughts, again, gently bring ourselves to the present moment. Bring ourselves back to the breath again. Instead of getting lost in the thought, just come back. Come back to the breath. There's no need to feel upset about it. We just have to come back to the breath. In this way, we are freeing ourselves from craving, from attachment to the thoughts or any pleasant sensation or experience. Again, thoughts may arise. It's okay. Let them come, let them go. Simply return to the breath. Don't turn your mind into battlefield. Simply aware and return to the breath. Anger, desire, craving are not our enemy. They are friends that help us to come back to the present again and again. So we can make friends with them. They're like a wake-up call, reminds us to come back. And notice that how you try to control your breath. If your breath is long, let them be long. If your breath is short, let them be short. Just allow the breath to be as it is. When you allow reality to be as it is, there's no struggle. Things flow. Your life becomes a dance. That is actually the beginning of wisdom. And slowly we will eliminate our ignorance. Simply be with whatever that's arising, moment by moment. without getting lost, without fighting, simply allowing and be. Just be with whatever reality is at the moment. That's wisdom. Now, before we conclude this session, just let go of the breath and rest in open awareness. So before we end, let's dedicate this merits or whatever goodness that arises from this practice, not just to ourselves, but to all beings, especially those who are suffering right now, particularly to those suffer from the Tibet earthquake, the fire in California, and the rest of the world. So that's all for our session. Thank you.